Hello! We are back. Fantastic. Now, I am Stanford Chidge. This is the Chelsea Football Fancast, and this is one of my favourite moments in any week, but especially this week. This is time for the Fannies, which are our match awards, which consist of the man of the match, obviously, Chant of the match, Guinness and Celery moments, and a celery moment is happening right now to my left, where Jonathan is taking a selfie, or doing a selfie.
No celery involved over here.
No celery involved. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Okay, right, so this week, for our man of the match, our nominees are Eden Hazard, which I think is well deserved. I didn't get this out earlier on, but Eden Hazard has created twice as many chances in the Premier League than any other player.
Really?
Yeah.
Any other player.
This season.
This season.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Steady on, Sam, steady on. I'm a bit statomatic tonight. Oh, I've got far too many stats whizzing around.
Impressive, actually.
I know, I've done some homework for once. But no, I mean, because we've been saying for the last few weeks that he's a bit of a slow start to the season. You know, really not quite up to his best. But actually, the stats don't tell you that at all. It's like, you know, he is actually creating chances.
He's just playing a different sort of game to what he was doing last season. He's less of a one-man band and he's more of a team player, isn't he?
I think it's great, and I really do think that the addition of Costa and particularly Fabregas are really going to help Hazard, because, you know, he got found out a bit last season because basically teams were putting three people on him, weren't they?
Yeah.
And he's now got, I think, the weight of responsibility about being our only creative player have gone. I think the fact that he will have more space because they've got to concentrate on Costa and also Fabregas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the goal was great. It was a great goal.
Wasn't it?
Even though it was an own goal.
Yeah. Still a great. It was a great run, though.
It was a fantastic run, yeah.
And once Felipe Luis, if he does get into the team, then he has someone making those runs beyond the defender, so he can go the other side. He draws in the defenders, which is great.
That's an interesting point. Will he go into the team at the moment?
Well,
I think he'll give him a go later
Well,
on.
seeing as Aspi has just signed a new deal.
Has he really? I didn't know that.
Tonight's been announced, has been signed a new deal.
For how long?
For 5 years.
5
years. And just a little bit of rumour to put out there. I saw a certain centre-half deep in conversation with the chief executive of the club at Goodison. I wouldn't be surprised to hear that Gary Cahill signed a deal fairly shortly as well.
How long's he got left on his current contract then?
A couple of years, I think.
Yeah, so that's about the right time.
That's about the right time.
Goody.
And probably some more as well.
Excellent. Right, now, Hazard definitely gets a nomination. I think Fabregas clearly has to. I mean, I was really impressed with his performance. People who say he didn't perform that well, I'm amazed at, really.
Got caught in possession a few times. I think he's got to rid himself
He
of
conducts things, though. I like the way he orchestrates it all. I like it. I like it a lot.
Top player.
But now, the other thing is, I mean, you know, Costa obviously gets nominated. If Costa doesn't win this hands down, I will eat this. Let's go. That's a picture of Costa and Fabregas. That's
Vote
beautiful.
Fabregas!
They're closing in on, I don't know who that is. Is that
It's
MacArthur?
Naismith. Isn't it Naismith?
MacArthur. Yeah,
Plays for Everton. Not really that bothered. Anyway, so we have the results. I actually remembered that last week, if you were watching, you will remember that I forgot to go and get the results off the computer for the Fannies. This week I have remembered, and they are here. I have written them down. And before I reveal them to you, I was going to be a bit of a tease here, a bit like Chelsea, you know, tantalisingly out of reach. I'm going to ask the benches what they think before we actually vote for this. What do you reckon, benches?
Costa.
Do you want a cup of coffee or something?
Yes.
All right. I think that's fairly unanimous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that Costa Lotta?
Costa Lotta. I think we're done with the coffee
Sorry,
gags.
Costa Cutter.
Shut up. No more coffee gags. Right. The results are, in reverse order, 3% for Fabregas, 7% for Eden Hazard.
That means
So this means
90% for Costa.
it also means that 10% of your viewers weren't watching the game.
No, 10% of our viewers are allowed freedom of choice.
Okay.
Something we value particularly on this show.
Because there's only a couple. He only had 3 shots a goal, didn't he, Costa, after all? So.
No, I think fair enough. You know, vote for who you want to. It's personal choice. All right, next up is Chant of the match, and the Chelsea away support were in fine voice as always. Although I have to note, there we go. Look at that. By the way, the photographs tonight have been provided to us by the lovely Debs, who may well be listening and chatting with people in the Mixler chat room, as well as hopefully watching our ugly mugs on the telly. But that's a lovely photograph, Debs. But she's provided us with the photographs tonight. Anyway, yes, all but one very important person, he who must not be named. Or, thanks to Stephen Menery, I'm now, or actually Stephen renamed him the Reverend Dave. But anyway, he was not happy because he thinks that we spend too much time singing songs coating off other players, opposition players and opposition managers, or teams that we aren't even playing, and he was quite cross about this on Twitter. And I suggested that actually what we should have is a CFC UK approved song sheet released in every issue of the fanzine, you know, and then Stephen Menery said he should be called Reverend Dave, which I quite like. I think he has some sort of a point. You know, it'd be nice to kind of have a lot more songs actually supporting the players. I mean, you lot will remember in the old days before a game you would have a chant for every single Chelsea player. You know,
absolutely, it was wonderful.
So it's kind of a nice thing, and I worked it out. We've actually got a song for all of them. We've got a song for every single player. You know, it doesn't matter if they're like Courtois, Thibaut Courtois, whatever it is.
Did we work out what checks is? Because I was finding that all very confusing.
Son has got his hat on. Or
no, other than that one. No. I think that one corresponds.
It should be clap, 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 check. That's what it should be.
It was something, you know, Peter, check.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. I like that one. But Fabregas has got one. People out there might think that Fabregas doesn't have a song, but Pablo, who is not with us tonight, would be very cross with you for forgetting that he, in fact, came up with the Fabregas, celery is nothing to be scared of, which I think is great. But anyway, should we talk about the nominations?
Yes. Can I just say on he who must not be named's point, I get exactly what you're saying, and it's really nice to hear the people, the fans behind the team. However, I obviously sit on the other side of the ground to the away support, most away games, and it's just nice to hear a lot of noise from the away. And to be honest, it doesn't matter what they're singing; it's just great to hear the noise.
I mean, it's a very, very difficult argument because number one, all we want to hear is a lot of noise, and actually, what we also want to hear is a collective noise. I think one of the troubles that we often have these days is that one lot over there starts singing a song and a lot over there starts singing a different song, and it actually dilutes the effect that we're trying to create. Thirdly, you know, football when I went as a kid, it was full of naughty behaviour and swearing, and it was kind of accepted. That is how it was. You know, buy the ticket, take the ride. If you don't want to be exposed to that kind of behaviour and language, then go to the opera or go to Arsenal. You know, so, you know, that was it. You know, I remember Dad saying, you're going to hear some really bad stuff today, but it's all right, your mother doesn't come every week. No. You're going to hear some bad stuff today, but, you know, don't repeat it. It's football, you know? Yeah. So people moaning about swearing and naughty songs, I think, you know, come on. I mean, I know it's not nice, but it's kind of what it's always been like.
There is obviously a line, isn't there? And,
yes, I think there is.
Laws sit and things like that.
Racist chanting, obviously. Homophobic chanting, all those things, clearly a big no-no. But, you know, I mean, if we didn't sing, if you look through Chelsea's entire songbook, I'd say 80% of them have the F word in them at some stage. So, I mean, you know. I think you just have to take it out of reality sometimes. Although I do take his point, and I share his view in many respects. Right, the nominations are, you'll be delighted to know. This is a song that doesn't have any swear words in it, and is a great song for getting everybody going. Guess what? Can you guess what it is yet? Oh, actually, that's a bit naughty.
Oh, no, don't go there.
Take that one. We'll edit that out. We'll edit that out, won't we? Yeah, exactly. That's fine. We're good. I'll let you collect your thoughts after that faux pas.
It must be that chair.
I must put my didgeridoo away next time. Anyway, come on. What can you guess what it is? Seriously. Is it What 10 Men Went to Mow?
Okay.
Which I think is that's a unique Chelsea song as well. I always like nominating.
I've always loved the fact that it's a song that you can sing when we're attacking, and the opposition may have scored a goal by the time you finish.
That's true.
Or five.
Well, the match might finish. In fact, it might be next week. You know, by the time
I've loved the fact that we persist, and nobody else in the league has a song as long as that.
5 men went to score at Everton.
Okay, the second nomination is, and I like this. This has been nominated the other week too, but it's nice to see this come back. We were talking. I liked your "It's a Corner."
Would you like that one? Yeah,
no, but it doesn't get a nomination. But I'm just saying I like it.
I'm just saying, do you like it?
Yeah, but it's like ole, 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 Chelsea. I heard that loudly.
Yeah. There is a Vine, I think, it was with Walter Otten on it, doing that at the end of the game when the players come over. So
it's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's good to have that back. But the final nomination, which is a bit naughty, but I think it has to be done. Obviously, there's a bit of an issue with Lukaku, isn't there? You know, I mean, he wasn't good enough. He bottled it, let's be honest, and then he went around gobbing off for most of the summer. And I'm sorry, you know, whilst it is a Chelsea tradition to always applaud and love players that have played for them, there are exceptions when you gob off and start saying stupid things. And I'm afraid Lukaku is going to be in that camp. Now, I know that this song was sung before he cupped his ear at the fans when Everton scored, but I think it was quite funny that he got the Chelsea reject treatment followed up by... Fernando Torres, he's better than you. Which I think says it all. And I actually quite like the double irony in that, because I think that was actually quite supportive of Fernando Torres as well.
Ish.
Well,
Sort of.
discuss in a 2,000-word essay to be delivered to me by next week. But there we go. So those were the nominations. Benches, what do you reckon? Would you like any of those?
Yeah, I like the Torres one.
Torres.
Yeah.
You're all speaking in one voice this week. We should get you in the away end more often. Right.
Can I chip in just before we have the results with one that comes up every week, at every Premier League ground it seems, whenever there's a Scouse side there, and it's our Demba Ba, Steve Gerrard one, and even some Evertonians were joining in on Saturday, which was nice to see.
And I like it too. I think a lot of people are getting bored of it now. I mean, there's quite a reaction on Twitter about it afterwards, saying, "Oh, for God's sake, why are we always singing it?" Well, because it's funny.
It's
and
funny.
You clearly don't have a sense of humour. That would be my answer. Right, the results are, okay, in reverse order. No, that's the Guinness moment. 8% for 10 men went to Mo, so that's a bit of a dig for Chidge there. 19% for Ole, 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 Chelsea, which means, of course, people with a sense of humour have voted for Fernando Torres, he's better than you. 64%. Pretty conclusive, I think.
Yeah, I like
Are you
that.
happy?
Yeah, very happy.
Yeah. You don't look it.
Well, I would have gone for Ole personally
Internally,
because
I'm
it's so
absolutely
good.
He's happy.
enjoy
If
that.
Jonathan's
Well,
happy, we're all happy, Seb. You know how it works.
It's like JT and Big Pete.
All right, we've got to move on because I'm waffling on and we're running out of time. Now, Guinness moment. The nominations for the Guinness moment were, again, a massive, massive choice this week, but I've hopefully nailed it down to the ones that matter most, and they are Fabregas' pass to Costa for the first goal. I just thought that was just so classy.
Yeah, to see it.
Sexual. It really was. I went, ooh.
Yeah, to see it in the
seriously.
first, 34 seconds of the game? Like,
But at the end of that, they'd had the ball for the whole time. Pass. But that was just...
There's only one winner in this, though. I know what it's going to be.
Well, in fact, I won't read it out next then. I will read out the next one, which is, and I think this definitely gets a shout, and that is Courtois' save from Morales, which Seb pointed up earlier. Superb.
Yeah.
World-class
Which
save.
television never showed a shot straight on
It
with.
really was, because I thought that was going in. It was
I didn't see it live. It's only when I saw the replay that I saw the ball deviate, and it was
quality, mate, quality. But as Dan has already alluded to, there can only be one serious nomination this week. I mean, the sight for a start of Mikel herring over the halfway line was enough to make me get moist. I think I'll leave it at that. I couldn't believe it. And I actually also love the fact that every media outlet said, oh no, it was Drogba, or it was Willian, or anybody but Mikel. They couldn't bring themselves to give poor old John Obi Mikel credit for this.
I think this was a basic error by Mourinho to send him on the pitch without the bungee straps attaching him to his own goalpost.
I did actually wonder for a minute whether that was going to happen and he'd get catapulted back again. But not only does he hair up there like I don't know, like a man possessed, I suppose.
I refused to accept it every time I watched it. But no, it can't be.
It can't be. Well, that's what the media did, But and then you had that backheel pass to Costa.
Backheel on the move.
On the move. It was just sublime.
Nigeria's number 10. Don't forget.
Yeah, John Obi Mikel, Nigeria's number 10. It
No.
needs a bit of work, doesn't it? But I mean, a fantastic moment. I'm delighted for him. And I mean, Costa's goal was superb too. I mean, dumping Distan on his rear end was
With the
brilliant.
lollipop. As
I mean,
it was
with a
described.
little lollipop at the end there.
That's right.
I mean, I could have nominated that, but I mean, Mikel. I mean, it has to win it. Am I right here? Am I right? Am I right? Benches.
Yeah, 100%.
And has somebody fed you something tonight? Because you're agreeing with me on everything. I don't know what's going on. Right, you'll be very relieved to know that the results are in reverse order, as always. Fabregas' pass to Costa's first goal, 12%. Courtois' save from Morales, 18%. So it was given due credit, I think, which means that Mikel's backheel to Costa, a stonking 70%. And therefore, John Obi Mikel gets the Guinness moment. I'm delighted for you, John Obi Mikel. I'm sure you'll be very grateful for that. Right, last but by no means least, the Celery moment. Again, there could have been hundreds of nominations of various types, but I've nailed it down to my 3 personal favourites, as I tend to do, Jonathan. And therefore inviting disagreement.
You've got the
Yeah, I've got the script.
the
so
script.
what
and
can they
you're
do?
sitting in the chair.
All right, okay. I mean, let's get the obvious one out there first, shall we? Which is... Look at them. They look like meerkats, don't they? They look like meerkats.
I was a slumping meerkat.
Well, yes, you're an old meerkat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, I'll help you out. Costa goading Coleman for the own goal. I mean, come on, schoolboy error, boys. The second one, the post-match. Well, I think it was post-match on Sky. They had Idiger Johnson on, obviously talking to JT, and JT dedicated the win to Dickie Attenborough, which I thought was lovely.
Fantastic.
So I think that's proper
I agree
Chelsea.
with
I
you.
like that. And finally, finally, there you go, there's JT, looking lovely. And actually that's really quite fitting because the other nomination that I've personally selected is the yellow kit. It being that Celery moment is something redolent of the old days, it's old school, it's proper Chelsea. For me, the yellow kit is proper Chelsea.
We haven't lost in the yellow kit
Since
something like
2001.
Yeah.
2001.
Exactly.
I love
I've been reading up
The
Chant.
little collar.
the blue wing collar. It's a bit Clive Walker, a bit.
It is,
isn't it?
It is, very much so, absolutely.
All they have to do
Ray
now,
Wilkins, maybe.
all they have to do now, Dan, is go the whole hog and bring in the blue shorts to go with it.
Yeah.
You know, because that would be proper for me.
Well, that made sense because it was kind of a reverse of the other one. It actually wasn't at all. Do you remember when they wore white and blue shorts? That
Yes.
was the period as well.
And,
I like
and
that
also
as well.
get a small winger to have an enormous, great big bleached barnet, like
Yeah.
Clive Walker.
And I
and a
think,
bald patch.
So
and I-
you're
you know,
going to be telling Eden he's got to do this.
and Willian should grow his hair out and then get it cut shorter on top and then like flying away and doing Ian Britton.
Wow.
I would like that. You know, and maybe Costa could grow his hair out and a beard and look a bit like Mickey Droy.
Yeah.
You know, but I do love the yellow kit, and as you said, I mean, we haven't lost. Is it really true that we haven't lost since 2000? Probably because we've only played in it about 3 times.
2001.
Well, and the FA Cup against Everton, funnily enough. But I mean, we started a campaign about this a few years ago, saying we want the yellow away kit back because we were that awful green. Was it luminous green thing we had?
Fluorescent
That
yellow.
awful thing we had.
At Derby, I remember they kept passing to the stewards. Do you remember that?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, so it's nice to see the old yellow kit back, and it warmed the cockles of my heart, not least because I hate the black kit because you know I think we always lose in the black kit. There's something quite juju about the black kit. There really is. I don't like it. Don't like it. No. Don't wear the black kit. It doesn't make sense. But the yellow one's all right. Okay, benches. Are you agreeing with me on this? What did you vote for?
Yellow kit.
Hang on, one at a time, please.
Yellow kit.
Yellow kit. You voted for the yellow kit for the Celery moment.
Yeah,
I'm liking that.
I think it's just great seeing a proper away kit.
Okay,
The rubbish they've been proper the last few years. Proper away kit.
I'm really surprised. But delighted as it was my own personal nomination, that one. But the results are in. They are. No need to wait anymore. They're
I'm
here.
not surprised.
Are you surprised?
No.
No. Why are you not surprised?
Because they're written down.
Okay, yeah, because I went out there earlier on. You're such a killjoy, aren't you?
Sorry.
You're a karma chameleon.
Oh, clever. Karma comedian.
Oh, karma killer, more like. Okay. Right, okay, the results are in, and in reverse order, they are, sorry boys, on the benches, the yellow kit only got 14%.
Shame.
I know.
Fixed.
But that's why you're on the benches, because you know me, you see, and you knew that's what I would have picked, so there you go. In second place, John Terry dedicating the win to Dickie Attenborough. That got 32%, and that means this week's winner of the Celery moment is Costa goading Coleman on his own goal. I have to say, I do approve of that, I've got to be honest.
Can I just add something? I just want to say thank you for Everton for wearing black helm badges as well, because they didn't have to.
Well done, Seb. That is a very, very good
absolutely
point,
true,
actually.
very true.
I mean, you know, I might get a bit of a slave for this, but I think Everton are a pretty decent club. I mean, they're not called the People's Club for nothing, you know.
And I love the theme tune when they come on.
Zed Cars, isn't it?
No, after that one. It's a grand old team to
Oh,
play
yeah,
for.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
grand old team to support. And if you love your history, it's enough to make your heart go whoa.
I think you're on the wrong show, mate.
Should be like that. Someone else saying, hey, I'm a toffee.
Are you
Toffee's
auditioning for
TV.
something tonight, or what?
Ken Dodd is here tonight, you realise.
He's coming in later. Yeah. But they're a decent club, and I mean, I think maybe it's because they kind of succeed in comparison to the other lot down the road and who are universally loathed. I think maybe that's what helps, but they are a decent club. I had a really good post actually on the website by a lad, and it's really interesting. Most clubs make comments on our websites that are absolutely poisonous and vitriolic. We got some really nice comments from them about, you know, you absolutely mullered us, good luck, you know, you should do really well. Anyway, I'm waffling on, as always, because we've got to go to a break. And after the break, we are going to be having a chat with the lovely Jason Burt from the Sunday Telegraph, and we're going to be talking all about Chelsea's transfers this summer, which have been rather stupendous, and hopefully about financial fair play too, because he's quite an expert on that. So we will see you in a few minutes.